Yes, this is the day that the Lord has made. We shall rejoice and be glad in it. It is yet another Wednesday night when we come right into your home, right where you are seated, or on your phone, or in your computer, wherever you are, with open talk. My name is Bishop Mark Karaoke, your pastor and your friend for a long time. I pastor at the House of Bread in the Majestic City and oversee Deliverance Church International. May the Lord richly bless you. Open Talk is a forum where we just talk. You talk or I talk, or we hear one another. It's aimed at being an encouragement to somebody, brings in information. It could bring in a correction or rebuke or bring a challenge, so that wherever you are, you will get a word that will stir you in your spirit and cause your eyes to be opened up, that you may see what you can do. So please, I want you to know that where you are is not permanent. Every time we bring guests who give us their story. And as they give us their story, others' lives are being stirred up. Your life is being stirred up, that you may rise up to become who God intended you to become. So as you sit with us tonight, I want you to know that your life will never be the same again. I have a very, very wonderful couple who have come to be with us, who are busy doing many things, and who are so interested in letting you know that God is not finished with you. There is something in you that needs to rise up. And this comes as a result of their conversation. Our guest tonight is none other but Mr. and Mrs. Andrew and Jane Faith Mokami and Andrew Matu. They are with us here. They are members at the Majestic City. I've been with them for quite some time, and I pray that you will capture something from whatever they discuss tonight. Welcome, Andrew and Jane, to Open Talk. Here we talk, or you talk, or I talk. We hear one another and we move on. But maybe it's good for you to say jambo to the people. Would you like to say jambo to our viewers?
Yes, jambo. My name is Andrew Matu, and I'm born again, and it's wonderful to be here this Wednesday night at the Open Talk with our Bishop, Dr. Mark Karaoke.
Thank you so much, Andrew. Jen, you say jambo so that the people can hear your beautiful voice.
Thank you, Bishop. Thank you for having us. Jambo and good evening, viewers. My name is Jane Faith Mokami. Thank you for joining us this evening. We are here to talk and to inspire you with our journey in this life. Thank you for tuning in.
Welcome. Thank you so much, our viewers. We are in for a good time as we go through the discussion. You know, at the Open Talk, we just come and we have an evening together. It's just having an evening together, and in the process, somebody may be helped by the words that will come out of your life, because you know life is a battle and it is a struggle, and it's, lots of people think that things just fall in line on a daily basis, and they have no idea the challenges that other people go through. Maybe I start by asking, who is Andrew Matu?
Andrew Matu is a born-again Christian, a husband, a father, and professionally I'm a hotelier by profession, and I'm in consulting in the hotel industry.
Okay.
Yes.
You're consulting in the hotel industry?
Yes.
Okay, and who is Jane?
Jane Mokami is, first of all, a born-again Christian, a wife to one husband, Andrew Matu, and a mother to 4 beautiful children. We are blessed. We are blessed. We have 4 kids, and I do business in different businesses, and also I'm a musician. I'm a gospel minister.
Oh.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's quite a combination.
Yes.
With all those businesses, hoteliering, business in consulting. There's a lot of treasure and experience in you, which would be of somebody of help to somebody. So Andrew, where were you born?
I was born here in Nairobi, and I grew up in the neighborhood of Garden Estate. Yeah, my parents are the late, both the late engineer Nderito and the late Bill Hawanjiro Nderito. My late father was an engineer in working for the government, and my mom was a teacher. I was born in Garden Estate, and just a normal neighborhood kid, yeah, who was, of course, very playful, though very ambitious also. I grew up in an environment of the art subjects, so I liked working a lot with my hands. So I loved cooking. And I think that is how I ended up in the hospitality industry.
Wow.
But I believe my life has been exciting throughout my childhood. I attended Consolata Primary School, and I attended Greenfields, Kitale, in high school. And thereafter is when I pursued my hospitality career. Yes.
Wow. Okay. And how many were you in the family?
We are two.
Oh.
In our family.
That's a big number.
Me and my older brother. I have my older brother who is called John Kagondu Nderito. He lives in Nyeri with his family. He does farming.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay. And Jen,
Yes.
where were you born?
Well, I was born in Kitale.
Okay.
Yes, I was born in Kitale by my late dad. My dad is late, and is George Gakonya, his name, and my mom is Nancy Wamboi. I'm a third born of a family of 4. With my parents were blessed with 2 kids. I mean 2 boys, 2 girls, 4 kids also. I always tell my mom, nimekupiga draw. So 2 boys, 2 girls. I was number 3. And after growing in Kitale, my dad, they were there for work. My dad was there for work. He was transferred there. He used to work with Kenya Posta. And so he was transferred to Kitale. And then when I was in class 6, he was transferred back to Nairobi. And when we came to Nairobi, we came to our shags, we call it shags. Yeah, our village is, our village is still in Nairobi. I'm from Kabete, Lower Kabete. So that is where my mom and dad went, and my sister, I was taken to my grandmother to finish the primary school, and my brothers were also, one of our brother was quite a bit older, so he was left in Kitale working. The other one was in high school, also in Ngong. So I've partly grown in Kitale. I've been to Ngong for my class 6 and my class 7. Then I came back to Kabete, and that's where I was for my high school. Yes. So I've been round, all round.
So you are actually Nairobians.
Yes.
This is a Nairobian thing.
Yes.
And Nairobi is so big.
Yes.
So how did you guys meet?
Wow, it's a very interesting story. We met actually in Masai Mara.
Masai Mara.
Yes.
All the way from Nairobi.
All the way from Nairobi. We met in the wilderness.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's a very interesting story. Actually, I had, while I was working here in Nairobi, I was working for Windsor Golf and Country Club, and then that was back in 2004. And then I got an opportunity to go to the Masai Mara to work there for a company called Atua and Cop. So I was opening a tented camp called Pilikwani Maracam. So when I got the call from the owner, he interviewed me, and I was very excited, and he gave me the job in that one interview. So I ended up in Masai Mara. Now, interestingly, as I was going to Masai Mara, you know, after the hustle and bustle of Nairobi, I felt hapana, hii maisha ya kukaa peke yangu sitaki. So Mungu anisaidie nikifika Masai Mara, anifungue macho yangu.
Mbona Masai?
Nione bibi. So actually I went there knowing that God will bless me with a wife. And also I felt that I needed change of the atmosphere. The Nairobi atmosphere was too congested, even in the hospitality industry. There is so much work, and it's a roller coaster, let me say so. So when I got to Masai Mara, it's a bit more laid back. It's quiet. And of course, the guests there are controlled. So I had time to myself even to meditate as to what I want to do in life. Yeah, so that is how I ended up in Masai Mara. And then while there, working there, through 2006 and also 2007, to a driver friend of mine.
You went there 2004?
Yes, I went there in 05. In 05. So throughout 05, but mostly because we were developing that tented camp, I was mostly here in Nairobi, but going there, it was not yet ready. But when 06 it was ready, I moved there fully. So 06 passed by, 07 also came in. So towards the end of 07, I changed jobs and moved to Mada Hotels, which was not too far from where I was working previously.
Still in Masai Mara? Still
in Masai Mara. So when I moved, a tour driver friend of mine came and told me, hey, by the way, there's a new tented camp that has opened near you. And he said, let's go visit there. And he also told me there's a beautiful girl over there.
Oh.
Yes. So I said, okay, fine, tented camp, new, beautiful girl, twende.
Working or visiting?
She was working there.
Okay.
So we went there. And indeed, there was a beautiful girl there. And so that is how I met her.
So instead of seeing the tents, you saw the beautiful girl.
Yes, I saw the beautiful girl from Nairobi. Yes. And I think also it's also good she shares and
tell us about yourself. How did you get to Masai Mara?
How I got there. I'm actually a beautician by training.
Oh.
So I was working in Westlands, and while at work, we were not busy. I decided to just text a cousin and say hi. So I texted, and immediately she called my cousin. She called and told me, by the way, I was thinking about you. You did well by calling. I'm opening a camp in Masai Mara. Me and my husband. I'm opening a camp in Masai Mara, and I wanted somebody to help me there. Will you mind working there? I told her no. In fact, I had Masai Mara. I'd never been there. So I decided, yes, I will. In fact, I didn't think about it. I told her, yes, I will. So I quitted job and we went to Mara. And indeed, it was, now I thought it was a tented camp, but it was a camping site. Yeah, like, you know, the ones you pitch tent. Yeah, but it was beautiful, and I love nature. So I was like, I remember my cousin's husband asking me every step of the way. He asked me the first day we went, before they left, he could even stop the car and ask me, are you sure you're remaining behind? Are you sure you want to work here? Because now he was seeing the change from Nairobi, and I'm in the middle of, you know, in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
Yes. So, and because I think my love for nature and all that, so that's how I started working there. I was managing the camp for her, together with another guy. She brought in another guy, so we were working together, and God had given me favor because the people who were working below me, I was a lady, but the people working below me were Maasais, all men, and it's not easy for a Maasai man to take order from a woman. I was very tiny, very tiny, like a very tiny girl, but I made friends with them, and they were like my brothers. So we were working together as a family. And so there was this day, that tour driver he's talking about came to see the camp. He said, I have a guest whom I cannot take to the hotel. And so I saw this is a new camp. It was very gisty. It was a campsite, but very gisty. You know, usually they use the tents and all that. We had some lights to make olkinye. Wamasai were saying olkinye is a type of tree. Wamasai were saying, hey, matata kwa olkinye, you know. And they really used to love our camp. It was very gisty, excluded, and small, but very nice. So he came to see the camp, and I took him round. And he said, I will come with my guest. So instead of coming with the guest he was bringing, he brought Matu, but I didn't notice them. You know, they came, that time we were not born again. But I would want to take you back. Before I went to Masai Mara, I was not born again still, but I made a prayer also. I didn't know he made that prayer. We later knew after getting married and getting born again. I made that prayer. Me, literally, I went to my knees and told God, I'm tired with this life, Nairobi life. My age is really gone, God. As I go to my Masai Mara, I want you to bless me with a husband. And I was very specific. I don't want a boyfriend. I want a husband. And so that is what I came out with in Masai Mara, a husband, not a boyfriend. So when this the driver came, he brought Matu, and they were doing their stuff there. I was busy with my accounts and all that. They came day one, and then the driver went. He was just a divine connector. The next day, I went visiting a friend. There was another lady also managing a camp. So we were just the two of us, and it was close to each other. So I went to see her, and I was called by the Maasais and told me, that you have guests from Mada Hotel. And I'm like, Mada Hotel, now where he was working, it was Fig Tree in Masai Mara. So when we went back, he was there with his whole crew. I didn't know he had seen somebody, so that's why he's bringing me clients. He came with all the chefs, most of, the ones who are off days, the chefs, the drivers, and they came and, consumed and, gave us business for that day. And from that day, so that is how we started talking. And he kept on now coming. Yeah, slowly.
Keep going.
So slowly, we started that, chatting. We became fast friends, and then I realized this one is different. He's not like, of course, I had dated before. I'm thinking this one is different. He's not like other people I've dated. He's a man of his word, And I started liking him, So slowly we started dated, and it was the beginning of this journey of life.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So how did you know she was the one? Was it just a first sight and this is it, or?
One thing actually I noted with her, she's very honest, and she was very humble. And I remember a statement I told her while we were there in the camp. Mwambie endo nipikie nione kama nitakuoa. That was my Nyerian tagline. That was the Nyeri in me. But indeed she cooked. She made some very nice fried meat.
Allah.
And I ate with my fellow workmates. Na nikawaambia, hey, huyu naona naweza nonea kwa nyumbani. So mine was not the traditional going down on the knee, removing a
ring and something.
No, it was the Nyeri in me who told me just wendo nipikie nijue kama nitakuwa. But we continued building up our relationship, and I could not stay in my workplace. I told you Masai Mara is a bit laid back. During the day, all the guests are out looking for animals. So of course, in the hotels, it's very quiet. So when I finished my duty and everything, nachukua gari naenda kwake. Kutembea. Tunaenda kupiga mastori. And indeed, we started creating that relationship. And this is 2007. Come 2008, we came here to Nairobi and then actually officially proposed to her.
You are transferred, or you?
No, we just when I was taking my off days, and even her should take off days, that we would work prolonged for about 2-3 months, and then you get a week or two on off days. So when I was this way for about 2 weeks, that is when I officially proposed.
Okay. And
then the same year in 2008 we got married.
Allah.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. And so when you got married, you went back to Masai Mara, working in Masai Mara, or you came back this way? What happened?
Now, you remember 07 towards the end, there was the post-elections,
Yes.
and then comes 08.
Yeah.
So what happened is that a lot of properties had gone low in terms of occupancies. So the owner, where I was at Mada Hotels, transferred me to Kilifi Bay Hotel, which they also own. So that is where I was transferred. So having been transferred there in 08, then I happened to get an opportunity at Mombasa Continental. I was called by the directors of Mombasa Continental. I think they got wind that I was within the coastline. So when they called me, they interviewed me, and then that is how I ended up with the job at Mombasa Continental as the resident manager. So at that time, my beautiful wife was here in our home in Garden Estate. I had what you call a man cave. Because I was born and raised in Garden Estate, but all my work life, wherever I've worked, we are accommodated in the hotel, so there is no need of having a house. So, but where I grew up in Garden Estate, I had a small one-bedroom house at the side, which was once an SQ. Then I converted it now to my small house. So that's why I left her.
Okay.
Then I went to Kilifi. So when I moved now to Shanzu in Mombasa Continental, I looked for a place to stay, and then that's when I came down to get her.
Wow.
And then we moved now to Mombasa. Yes, and that is where actually now we started our journey together. Yes.
Wow, wow. So, how did your parents take when you took him? If you took him there, or they just had, oh, we are the
No. When now he proposed and he told me when he wants us to get married, I went to my mom and told her, now I think it's time, and I have guests who are coming. So he came over with friends. First he came with two of his friends to come and know. Of course he knew because he used to drop me. And so he came to know the place officially to meet my mom. Then after that, he came with the cousins and the brother, and then after that is when we started the arrangements, the ruracios and all that, the traditional weddings, But when I told my mom, of course, she was very happy. Her daughter, and I know she was always praying for that day to come. Because being the eldest, to pave way also for the youngest. So she was very happy.
I have one daughter, and I can tell you the feeling of a parent when the daughter comes and says, I am bringing somebody. It's a great feeling. It's an excitement. It's an excitement and it's a fear for a father. For a father giving out your daughter, you are excited, and at the same time you are wondering, this man, is he going to take care of my daughter or not? So it is quite exciting. So how long did you stay in Mombasa?
We stayed in Mombasa for 3 years.
Oh.
Yes. Before again I transferred. This hotel industry is quite diverse. And there's a lot of high competition for good people. And I believe I worked my best in the hotel industry. There, before, allow me to take you back a bit so that we can have understanding of the foundation of how I started. After I finished high school in 1995 in Greenfields, and then come 1996, I was taken as an apprentice in Gong Hills Hotel to start my apprenticeship in the hotel management. I had not done quite very well while I was in high school. The earlier I mentioned I was a bit too playful. So my mind was always swayed away with things to work with the hands, So I was not that child who likes mathematics, not like my late father being an engineer. Maths and physics were at his fingertips. So he would always be annoyed and wondering, huyu ametoka wapi? But yeah, I liked the art subjects most, and I excelled quite well. But of course, what let me down is the mathematics and the sciences, which really brought down my grade. So in 1996, so my father asked me, okay, what do you want to do? I said, I want to be a hotelier, I want to be a chef. Okay, why a chef? I told him, because being a chef doesn't have any mathematics. Ni tu kukoraga chakula, watu wanakula. So he asked me, how do you want me to help you? So I told him, if you just connect me with somebody, I get into the hotel system, I'll be okay. And indeed, he introduced me to the family of the owners of the Ngong Hills Hotel, and they accepted me. So I did 2 years of apprenticeship within the industry. So I went through to Ngong Hills Hotel, I went through to Windsor also, and also I joined Escoffier Hotel School, which was a new school here for culinary arts to train to become a chef. So in that process, I got a neighbor of mine who was a banker. He used to travel a lot to Switzerland. So he knew I was in the hotel, I was practicing in the hotel industry. So this one time he called me and told me, hey, Matu, come. I've got brochures here. You could apply. So I applied to some schools in Switzerland back in 1996. And eventually through a lot of communication back and forth, it used to be days of poster. We didn't have email that time. So I was very patient, and I was also, very eager to do that. So I was accepted. But all through while I was applying, my father and mother did not know. So with the little allowance he used to give me is what I used to use to send those letters back and forth. So eventually I got accepted. They gave me even the fee structure. And now I presented that to my father. And when he saw it, he saw the effort that I had done. And also remembering that I had not done well in high school, he saw this one, he's going somewhere. So I just presented to him a finished product in terms of, for him it was just to pay. So even when I was approaching him, I was a bit afraid, of how he would respond. But when he saw it, he saw, huyu amefanya kitu. So actually he told me, fine, let's go. And he took me to his bank, and he asked the manager, are you able to coordinate these transfers of these funds that this young man needs so that he can go and pursue his hotel career in Switzerland? And he did so. So come 1998, I was in Switzerland in January.
Wow.
Yes, by faith. I put all my faith unto the Lord, knowing I had not done well. So I really felt broken inside because I really felt I had let down my father because of the maths and the physics that I did not do well. But I said, because God has blessed me with this opportunity, this one thing to make him proud. And indeed I did. I excelled very well. I went to Hotel Institute Montreux in Switzerland for 3 years. And then did my graduated in Endicott College in Beverly, Mass, in Massachusetts with international degree in hotel management. Yes, and even he came there in 2000, and we had a very big celebration. Sorry, in 2001, we had a very big celebration there in Endicott College. So then I also got a very good job. I was working with Doubletree by Hilton as the front office manager in the US, in Tyson's Corner in Virginia. Yes, it was a 405 room hotel. Yeah, so after working for some time, for 2 years or so, that's when I moved back to Kenya in December of 2003. Yes.
Wow.
So it has been quite an interesting journey. I just wanted to also to encourage somebody to know that having not done well in high school does not mean the end of your career or be discouraged as to what one would want to pursue. God gave me a second chance, and he connected me divinely with various number of people that I was able now to excel within the hotel industry.
There's also a challenge with kids, children,
yes,
who are doing what their parents want to do.
Yes.
And it is not their passion.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you find someone is doing law just because their father or their mother, they did law.
Yes.
And they're expecting, even my kids are going to do law.
Yeah.
So the kid is pushed into law, and he's not a lawyer.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's more of an accountant or a doctor or something else.
Yes.
I think there's something that we need to put into our people, that it is good to find out what is your child interested in.
Yes.
So we don't just push them to fulfill our desires.
Yes.
And I normally tell young men, young people when they come and they are planning for their wedding, and I tell them, I want you to know, this is not your mother's wedding.
Yes.
It's not your father's wedding.
Yes.
It is not your pastor's wedding. It is not your best maid's or best couple's wedding.
Yeah.
It is your wedding.
Yes.
Anybody coming will be coming to help you do your wedding. Because you have a wedding, you have your dream wedding, you have your dream wedding. So the two of you sit together, come up with your dream wedding, then get people to help you achieve your dream wedding. That helps a lot. When the parents know my kid is inclined in this direction.
Yes.
So but you had a very good father who realized that even after you couldn't do with the mathematics, he saw in this there is treasure, and that's where you are where you are now. All this time, Mukami, all this time he is in Switzerland. He's gone all these places. Where are you?
I'm in Nairobi because after my high school, I went to a college, a beauty college. I went to that beauty college in Westlands. And I worked there for quite some time. I went to another place in Kitisuru called Daybreak. It was a health farm. Yeah, I don't know if it's still there. I worked there for a year. Then I went back to the same salon that I was in Westlands. Then after Westlands, that's when I went to Masai Mara. And immediately after engaging me, we lost somebody in my camp. The guy we were managing with got an accident and he died. And I told myself I cannot stay there. In fact, even Matu told me, I think it's time we go back to Nairobi. Immediately he engaged me, we closed the camp. And so I came back to Nairobi. I went back to college. I went to Ashley's and did, now it's called nail technology, now on this kind of nails.
Nails. Can I look at your nails? Can you zoom on those nails and see how beautiful they are? Actually, they match with the rings and the dress. Wow. So you need nail
technology.
So if I brought my nails, you can turn them from what they are to something.
Oh yeah, I would in a few minutes.
Okay.
Yeah, so I did nail technology, but by that time I was pregnant, so I was not able to practice it much. And that's when I was in Nairobi here in Garden Estate. Matu he was back. Now we were already, by the time I'm coming from Masai Mara, we've already met, we've already gotten married, and now he went to Mombasa. I was in Garden Estate for 3 months. And then I told him, I think I need to follow you. Wherever you go, I go. Yeah, I don't want to stay here. And so we moved to, that's when he says he came, we moved to Mombasa, to Mtwapa that time, because he was working in Shanzu.
Yes.
Yeah. So we moved to Mtwapa, and while in Mtwapa, we were there for a year, and that we were actually in the center of Mtwapa, and we were okay. The kids were going to school there. Then we moved to Nyali. We got born again. We got born again when we were in Mtwapa.
Tell me that story. How did you get born again?
How we got born again. Mine was a call. I know people use this word so much, but mine was a call. Like I started, first of all, I started now changing the things we were doing. I would feel they no longer interest me. And then when I was when sleeping at night, I would hear somebody calling me with a, you know, that tender voice. I remember the first night that it happened, I woke Matu up 2 times and he told me in Kikuyu, wajokeria rege. Because he told me, when you wake me up again, because I thought he was the one calling me. Yeah, I'm waking up and he's asleep. Now I'm wondering, which game is this guy playing on me? So the third time he told me, when you wake me up again, you will see. So then I just thought, could it be God? Because I'm being woken up to read a verse in the Bible. Yeah, and if I refuse, because the first time I woke up, so he was asleep, and the verse, you know, I was that verse was John 7 to 11. Yeah, of the blind man. You remember the story of the blind man who Jesus put, and then he put, and he was told to go and wash. And then so I the verse was there. I woke up, so he was asleep, went back to sleep. I couldn't sleep. I heard my name being called again. I woke up again, he was still asleep. So it happened 3 times. The third time, I decided to read that verse. And when I read, I went back to sleep and I slept. I was actually asking him that, I was telling him, you know, you can tell me now, did you think, because we were still newly married, because and I'm waking him up at night, he's wondering what is, I was telling him, you know, you can tell me now, did you think there was something wrong with me, you know, we can discuss this now. So it happened, when it happened the first night, the second night when it happened, I knew now, I would wake up and read the verse, and I started...
That same verse?
No, another one now.
Another one. Okay.
Every time I've noted them somewhere. I've noted them. I always tell Matu, you are my only witness because it happens at night. So when I was given that, at the same time, I'm feeling the thirst. I'm really feeling the thirst. I really want to get born again. I was born and raised in ACK. That's my background church. And my mom was still is a very prayerful woman. And I know she would wake up and pray at night. And, you know, I knew all these things, Bishop, whether we are... when you bring up a child in the way that, like the Bible says, in the ways of the Lord, yes, they will grow up, they might go on their own. We rebelled, but I knew when you rebel, you know what you are doing, because now I knew I really want to get born again. And so I didn't know where. We're in Mombasa, we are in Mtwapa. Life in Mtwapa is life in Mtwapa. You know, it remains there. But so I didn't know where to get born again. What I didn't know is that also God is working on the background. On the other, while I'm feeling and I really want to get born again, I don't know where, he's also being connected with somebody at work. You know, his friend, there's a colleague they used to work with. He was he's still a leader in MPC, yes. Right? Yeah, in MPC. And now on the other side, he's inviting Matu for home cell. He was a home cell leader that time. And he's inviting Matu to a home cell. So when Matu was invited, he came in the evening and he told me, we've been invited to a home cell. Would you want us to go? I told him yes, because now the thirst, I really want the things of the Lord, but I'm afraid to just enter. At the back of my head, I know I can't, I don't want just anybody to lay hands on me. I don't want to just enter a church. In my mind, I'm in Mombasa, you know, all these things we hear about Mombasa. So I'm so afraid I'm just there. What I didn't know is I can also pray for myself and get born again alone, you know. So when he invited me, we got that following Wednesday, we went. Was it Wednesday or Thursday? We went for the home cell. And now, from the life we were living, we were not going to church so much. And if we go to Catholic, because he was Catholic. And when I got married, we moved to Catholic. So when we went to that home cell, we had never been to a Pentecostal fellowship or church. Yeah, people are praying and doing, you know, I'm praying and 1 minute is not over. I'm wondering, what are they What are they praying? I've prayed for the people who are traveling with every kind of, the flights, meli, kila kitu nimeombea kila mtu. Sijamaliza 1 minute. They're still praying. And it was quite a challenge, but a good one. Yeah. So the first time we didn't do anything. We just went, had a fellowship, and when it was over, we went home. The second, and we started going. Now the second Wednesday when we went, I had purposed in my heart, I am going to get born again. So after everything, I told them, I went on my knees and I told them, I want to get born again. When I was on my knees, I saw Matu on his knees. I thought he didn't get the memo, so I told him, I'm getting born again. That's why I'm on my knees. He told me, I'm also getting born again. Because we had not discussed. So we both got born again on 10th of February of 2010.
Wow.
Together.
At the same time.
At the same time.
Okay.
Yes.
How was your journey to that trip?
Wow. I grew up in Christian Catholic background. And of course, having the fathers who used to preach to us, I would honestly not even understand anything they used to to preach at that time. Until now, when we got to Mombasa and I started attending cell groups, I had no understanding. But my friend there is called Amos Mwaneki. He was a financial manager at the hotel. So slowly he started talking to me and telling me, about the fellowships, that he's a leader of the Mombasa Pentecostal cell group leader in Kiembeni. So he invited me for the Thursday fellowship, and that's how we attended. And when I went, I felt hapa kuna Yesu anakuja hapo yeye mwenyewe. Ni tofauti. So I felt here I'm feeling the word. And even throughout, actually, even when we were together still attending Catholic, I used to hear her pray and say, God connect us with a church that we can grow spiritually. So I also started hungering for that spiritual, teaching. So that is how I ended up, being convicted by the Spirit. And then I said, you know what? It's time. Sitangoja. Nimesema hii maisha ya hoteli nimeikula, pombe nilikuwa nimekunywa, ni Yesu tu sijajaribu. Wacha nijaribu Yesu. And that is how we got born again.
And when you went on your knees, you didn't know she was
I also didn't know. Me, I saw her going on her knees. I was also wondering, ni nini na huyu? So me, when I went on my knees, I knew what I wanted. So, but we thank God. Me, I went on my knees and we prayed. And we got born again. And so we started attending Mombasa Pentecostal church, and that's in 2010.
But Arati.
Yes, with Bishop Arati. But towards the end, I was already called by the founder of Enashipai Resort and Spa. That is when Enashipai was being built. So when he called me, the late Mwangi Kagema, he called me. That time was in Mombasa. Mombasa Continental in Shanzu. So he told me, Matu, I have an opportunity for you here. And so I came down to Nairobi. We discussed terms of employment and my job role, and then I ended up at Enashipai Resort and Spa in 2010. That time, that was in October thereabout. So I talked to my pastor in Mombasa Pentecostal and told him, now moving there, do you have another branch over there? They said no, but go to Bishop Kanyinge. That time was Reverend Kanyinge.
Yes.
And he said, there you will be home. So when I moved to Naivasha, I went to look. In fact, on our way in, I saw the signage, Reverend Kanyinge and Beth. So I said, here it is. So I knew where I got the bearing. So when I went, I reported to work. And then every Sunday, I started attending. By that time, I had left my family in Mombasa. Because first I wanted to come, make sure I have a place for them, then I moved them. And that is where our journey at Deliverance Church started.
Allah.
Yes.
Wow. Okay, and what do you do now?
Let me allow her to start then.
What do you do?
So because of raising kids, I I stopped employment and I went into business. Now I sell lady stuff, men's stuff. I sell anything. Sellable. I do business. I sell men's stuff, men's clothes, ladies stuff, the rings and all that. And also I have started a new venture. I'm farming.
Wow.
I thank God because of this one. And I'm also a minister, a gospel minister. I sing. I sing, yeah.
When did you start singing?
I started last year in March. That is when I recorded my first song, I Will Live. But the songs, God started giving me songs 9 years back, now 10 years ago, when we were still in Naivasha. That's when I received my first song in a dream. But I was not able at that time to record. I had so many, I was so afraid of entering into the, this industry and all that. But when now this song came, I Will Live, I decided, in fact my mom told me, Uko hororo that in Kikuyu, God will punish you if you don't sing. Now he will punish you because this is the third song. It's actually the first, but it's the third. The others got lost on the way. So this one I recorded last year. When it came through, it came in my dream, I knew God had already connected me with people now I can work with, like Bernard Maina of King Biz, Jibena, yes. So Jibena helped me, he really helped me. And he told me, don't be afraid, there are so many people who are, he walked with me. And my husband has, he has been there with me. So with this, I feel encouraged. And Bishop, I would want to say, when I was still thinking about, do I do it or not? You kept on preaching this. You kept on preaching and, insisting. Do what God tells you to do. You kept on encouraging, and I will feel God is really using everybody around me to encourage me. I was so afraid, and you kept on preaching about fear. You know how to, you can conquer your fear, you conquer your fear. Fear is not of the Lord, and I kept on encouraging myself. But now I made it, and I thank God. In fact, when I read Reverend Joyce's book, Shine, you step out and do that what God has has put in you. And people are using their talents. I decided to do it. So my first song, I Will Live, we recorded last year in March. And even did the video. Then we did the second one in October. It's a Kikuyu one, but that is a cover. It's a hymn. And the third one in November. Yeah, but it's a journey I have started. There's no turning back.
Wow.
This year, God willing, there are many more to come. Yes.
Wow. Now, when you say God gave you the song in the night,
yes.
Do you get the whole song, or you get the tune, or the words? What really comes?
Yeah.
Because maybe I'm also getting new songs.
Yes, and you don't know. Yeah. I will sing how the songs come. I will sing in the dream every day. How the first one, before now I knew that these are songs. The first one came, I kept on singing every night, every night. You know the way David said, my soul praises the Lord through the night. And then I realized, wait a minute, I don't know that song. I know it was very familiar in the dream, but outside in the world, nobody has ever sung it. And I realized this is a new song. And now recording it, because I'd recorded it because of it's a song that comes with the tune. Yeah, so you can't just write. You need to record so that you keep the tune also. So that is how the first one came. But this one, I Will Live, also came the same way. But now the chorus, which is from Psalms 118:17, that I will live, I will not die, I will live to declare the goodness of the Lord in this land of the living. That came, it is a chorus, but it came it's a song and a tune. Yeah, that's how it comes. You actually sing it. It's a song. Yeah, you sing with the tune. So how I record it, I usually wake up and record it on the phone so that I don't miss the tune. I don't forget the tune because it's easy to forget. So when I woke up and recorded it, I realized, I told Matu, wait a minute, this is a verse in the Bible. This is a Bible verse. It's Psalms 118. I love that verse. I love declaring.
Yeah.
Yes, I love talking positive and speaking to myself and my situations. Yeah, so I told him, this is a verse in the Bible. And it is a song now. So when I was actually going to Bernard, because I'm totally new in this, and I have no experience, it's God who is sending me, like I have no experience in music. I thought I needed somebody to hold my hand and also to guide me through. So when I was going there, I already had a song. So we were just building around it. Yeah, the chorus was already there intact. Yes.
Okay, so you are on YouTube?
Yes, I'm on YouTube as Jane Mukami. I'm also on Facebook as Jane Mukami. I'm also on Instagram as Jane Mukami. Yes. Okay. When they go to YouTube, Instagram, or Facebook, you will find me as Jane Mukami. Yes.
And the Skiza tune.
The Skiza tune will be written.
We have the
down here.
The code.
The code.
The code is running.
Yes, the code is running down here. Yeah, for each and every song.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
Okay, and what are you doing now?
I'm still a hotelier, and I normally say I love culinary arts. I love cooking. I even cook for my beautiful wife and my children.
Oh man, tell me when you are cooking, I can just pass by.
I'll definitely tell you. And some years back, before my mom passed on, she called me and my brother, who is in Nyeri, and we formed a family company. That time I was still working in the hotel industry. Actually, I was in Jacaranda in 2014 and also 2015. And she found it fit to say, let's start something together as a family. And so we did, and she tasked me to work on that. So I did a strategy on that, and then we decided we are going to venture into the hospitality industry. So we do have a farm in Nyeri, whereby we are currently developing a hotel, a boutique hotel. Yeah, so that is what I'm working on right now. But even there before, previously, I have consulted for various people just to reestablish the operations within the hotel industry. So that was back from when I left the active industry in 2015 in Jacaranda. That was my last appointment. From there on, I've been doing mostly consulting and also in the strategy of developing our own family company now. So I've been tasked with that. It is not an easy journey. I really need a lot of wisdom in that area. And I remember you preaching that our church will be the most knowledgeable. Yeah. So from even 2018, I've been engaged in a lot of programs to enhance my skill set. Yeah, I've really been in books. And my wife can attest to that. Up to now, I've even done entrepreneurship in USIU, a launchpad course for entrepreneurs. I've done a biblical entrepreneurship, which I've finished and also graduated. And I'm currently doing Hero Makers, which I graduate next month. And I said now, with that knowledge that God has given me, and even I've gone through other various programs like Man Enough, Intentional Dads, Crucible, these are all masculinity programs. And also through that, I realized I'm able to go out there and mentor and coach youth. And even I realized I can get an income through that. So I have actually done that previously. I've organized for youth camps, but until only COVID happened, that now I had to stop. But it's something that I'm working on again, so that I can actually begin that again. Yeah. So it can be for income generating. So I am in the masculinity journey on mentoring youth and men. I'm still in hospitality, in consultancy, and I'm also developing a hotel for our family company. Okay. That's what I'm working on.
So when you're mentoring youth, in that program, what is involved in that program?
It's about working with youth to understand their identity. The key foundation is about identity, because we have realized in the masculinity journey today, a lot of men do not know their identity, and our foundation is the Word of God. That is what I use. Yes.
Okay. So are you just, do you go sing in other places, occasions, or you minister through the media?
For now, I've not started yet going out, but I'm open. There are places. Recently, I went to a friend's wedding and I sang there. A friend also who's also a pastor was inviting me also to minister in our church. So I do that. I can do that. I do that. It is coming in this year of great catch. Of course, God will open these doors. Yeah. So I minister also on Facebook. Every day we share, and I share words on the word of God, the Lord on Facebook, and it encourages people, my fans. And also on YouTube, there are clips that I have that I share with and even the interviews. I've been in interviews severally, different places. I've been interviewed. So all these are on my YouTube channel. So if somebody goes there, they will be able to get. Yeah.
Okay, you know the internet is very powerful.
Yes, it is.
And it's an open field.
Yes.
Because you'll be ministering to people in Australia, people in Canada, different parts of the world.
Oh, yeah.
At the same time.
Yes.
And when do you see your hotel coming through?
God willing, let me say we've done about 70%. We've done the structures. So now we want to start working on the finishes and interiors. God willing, we are hoping in this season.
Okay.
2022. Yes.
Wow. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
It's been so good talking to you. Yeah. And where are your children? How old are your children? I didn't ask you that, and I don't want to forget.
They are around. We have an 18-year-old.
You have an 18-year-old?
Yes, who's turning 19.
You look 19.
Thank you. That is so sweet. Thank you. So our firstborn is 18, turning 19 this February. Oh. And our secondborn is 12, turning 13 this February too. And then we usually say we have phase 1 and phase 2. And then the phase 2s are 7-year-old. Imani is 7-year-old, and Baraka is 5. He turned 5.
Wow.
Yes.
And you're going to phase 3?
No. We thank God for those ones. I learned to say I thank God for that, because even the phase 2 came out of amen. Matu received, and we received. So I know you are my prophet. I cannot say amen to that. I will say thank you, Lord. We will bring these ones up. They are a blessing.
Well, you know, we see the faithfulness of God.
Oh, yeah.
And we really bless the Lord.
Yeah.
You see, and what you are doing with the mentoring of the young men, of the youth, is very, very crucial.
Yes.
Because a lot of the youth are just out there. They don't know what to do. They don't know where to go, and I think they need that.
Yes.
And I pray that God's wisdom would be upon you.
Amen.
as you follow that.
Amen.
And the ministry that God has given you, what God puts in you, is not in vain. You've got to hold it. Hold on it until it is fully manifested, and in it you're ministering to people and changing the lives of the people. Well, I want to say thank you so much for choosing to come, accepting, not choosing, but accepting to come to be with us this evening on Open Talk. Thank you for opening up, just opening up and just talking open. We really appreciate. Well, our viewers, this is Open Talk. And I'm sure you have enjoyed Andrew and Jane Matu's story and seen how God can lift you up, how God can take you into the wilderness to open up your eyes for the blessing that He has for you. So just in case you are in a wilderness, there is something good in that wilderness. Just in case you are struggling, there is something good in that struggle. I pray that your eyes would be opened up. Remember, this is our year of the great catch. and you will go for the great catch. May the Lord bless you. Have a super, super evening. This is your pastor and your friend, Bishop Mark Karaoke, coming to you through Open Talk and saying to you, we'll see you again this coming Wednesday night. God bless you.